I mean, like, you know the drill now at this point, right? Like, Gretchen Walsh did a really fast swim. It's insane. Every time she swims, we take it for granted and we think she's gonna go really fast, and then we're still blown away by how fast she goes. This is probably the 50th video you've seen of somebody telling you Gretchen Walsh is a really fast swimmer. Today, she went 44.83 in the 100 freestyle. 44.83.
Now remember, her record's 45.16. So maybe she's saving just a touch to come back on that back half. It's a long NCAAs, but a great turn there.
There's the final turn, the last 10 yards for Gretchen Walsh. Her NCAA mark is 45.16, and she has it, and she's in the 44s. 44.83. It is possible, and Walsh takes down her 6th individual NCAA title.
In a 100-yard race, she beat the rest of the field by exactly 1.40 seconds, an absurdly large margin of victory in a race that lasts for less than a minute. She's gone on an absolute tear this week, setting records in the 50 back, 50 free, 100 fly, now the 100 free, and missing her own record in the 100 back by just 1/100th.
Feet 10.9 on the feet there for Gretchen Walsh, the fastest in history, 22.5.
Walsh will make the turn in 22.10.
Fastest ever recorded in a 50-yard backstroke, 22.1.
You know, after Kate Douglas rewrote the record books last year and had one of the most phenomenal NCAA performances that I think we've ever seen, it was said that we wouldn't see another athlete at women's NCAAs dominate like that for a generation.
I've kind of left myself a little speechless. Like, yeah, I was very shocked with last year's performance, and yeah, coming into the season, I was kind of just like, I have no idea how I could even be better than that. And yeah, so to just see myself outdo my performance from last year is just really...
And a year later, that mantra, that statement has been proven wrong in spades. This was one of the most historically fast meets I think I've ever seen. Night 1 got off to an expected start. Virginia won yet another relay that won the 200 medley relay, just off of their own NCAA record. And then Florida stunned the Virginia team, ending their relay streak and putting together a winning 800 freestyle relay for the first time in over 30 years.
All I gotta say is it's great to be a 48er on this team, and so happy that we're able to accomplish this together.
And then things got really fun on day 2. First night was just 2 relays that were, granted, phenomenal relays, but day 2 saw some individual action. And right off the bat, Gretchen Walsh threw down a 20.41 to break her own record in the 50 freestyle. And I know what you're thinking, wow, what a great final swim. Like, I bet she took it easy in prelims, cruised it, made it into finals, and then ripped a fantastic time. No, that was prelims. She followed up that prelim swim in finals, going faster again, going 20.37, and splitting 9.88 to the feet. The women's 500 freestyle renaissance continued after that, with another historically fast final that saw a lot of best times and a lot of lead changes throughout the race, but it was ultimately Bella Sims who won in a 4:32. And another Walsh sister that night, this time it was Alex Walsh, became the second fastest performer in history with a 1:49.20 in the 200 IM. Now I want you to think about this. Kate Douglas went 1:48.3. Alex Walsh went an amazing time, one of the fastest performances in history. And she is still about a second behind Kate Douglas's best time. That is how phenomenal that swim is. It'll get broken eventually, but we just have to put that into perspective as the fast swim that it is. And then on day 3, it was another Walsh sister again. Who would have guessed it? Alex and Gretchen Walsh are both really, really fast. They got things started with Alex winning the 400 IM, becoming yet again the second fastest performer ever in a new best time of 3:55.9, which put her behind only Ella Easton's 3:54.6. About 20 minutes later, And this was a race that, like, I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and I was sitting in my doctor's office, everything was fine, and I was talking to my doctor, and I just let out, like, a yelp when I saw the time. 47:42 in the 100 butterfly. That would place in the 100 freestyle final. For context, Caleb Dressel's 42.8 that he went at the 2018 men's NCAAs, that would not have placed in the 100 freestyle final. That would have maybe scratched into the B final, but it would have been a far cry from placing in the A final. Today, 8th place in the 100 freestyle final was 47.3. Just about 5/100 slower than what Gretchen Walsh went. That is how absurdly fast that swim is. She finished the race about 2 seconds ahead of anybody else swimming. She won it by like a century and a half. Following the meet after that, oh my god, following the meet after that, Bella Sims and Anna Poplawski highlighted the women's 200 free final, battling to the finish, ending up just about 0.07 apart, going 140.9 and 140.97, with Bella Sims taking the win. And I want to talk about this record for a second. Missy Franklin set the record in the 200 freestyle in 2015. It is currently the oldest record on the books for women's NCAAs, I think. She went 139.10. Since then, Mallory Comerford has been 139.8, but no one has gotten anywhere near that record.
She may skip right over 138. Missy Franklin swimming perhaps the greatest yard swim in history. Look at this. Look at this.
Missy Franklin comes home in record-breaking time. An American record and an NCAA record by 1.2 seconds.
This was a phenomenal swim by both Bella Sims and Anna Poplawski. They both went best times, and they both had phenomenal races. But they were still about 2 seconds off of Missy Franklin's time. Like, we need to put some... Missy Franklin already has a lot of respect to her name, but we need to put some more up there. Because she has proven time and time again that she's one of the greatest athletes in history. The women's 100 freestyle, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Gretchen Walsh went 44.8. We already talked about this. She went 44.8. She beat everybody else by 1.2 seconds. Gabby Albiero placed 8th in a 47.3. Gretchen Walsh's 100 fly time would have been right on that. That is how dominant she's been this entire week. The women's 200 breaststroke saw Alex Walsh go another best time. You know, it's been a running theme this week. The Walsh sisters both won 3 individual events. Alex Walsh won another best time, beating the field by exactly 2.0 seconds, going a 2:02 flat, with Mona McSherry taking 2nd and Ella Nelson taking 3rd. Now, this race and the 200 butterfly afterwards essentially cemented Virginia's 4th straight NCAA title. The 200 butterfly afterwards saw Texas take the first 2 spots and Rachel Klinker take 3rd. And I want to talk about how good of a meet Texas had. Besides a few people who added from their seat times, for the most part, Texas had one of the best meets they've ever had at an NCAA championships. And it's going to be interesting next year. If they can keep this momentum up, I think they have a reasonable shot at challenging Virginia as they go for their 5th straight title. Now, obviously, Virginia's going to have Claire Curzan. Alex Walsh might take a 5th year. Nothing is set in stone. But it is going to be fun to see now that Virginia has won 4 straight times, if a team can get up there and challenge them.